everybody, welcome to episode 46 of the Brownie Knits podcast. I'm your host Gina, aka Brownie Knits. This is my little co-host Kennedy, aka Kiki. I hope you all are doing well. This is being recorded in August 2016. We just finished the 2016 Summer Olympics, so I hope that you all had some fun watching the games. We did quite a lot of that around my house. We even actually I had some friends over and I made like a little Brazilian themed meal, which was kind of fun. So if you're interested in checking that out, I actually have the Brazil dinner on my Pinterest account, my Brownie Knits Pinterest account. There's a Brazilian dinner that I pinned. Not sure how authentic it is. Yeah, it was really yummy. So it was kind of a fun little thing to do and get to see some friends and hang out. But here we are, and I have loads of stuff to show today, so I hope that you guys find something that you like. I've been busy with trying to knit for good or crochet for good during the Olympic Games. So we have some prizes to hand out in the Brownie Knits Ravelry group if you participated in that Knit Along, Crochet Along. And then we have some other giveaways. It's like the episode of giveaways. To announce the winners for those, and then some new ones, and then just all kinds of other yarny goodness. So I think she just wants to take a nap today. So yesterday, as you guys can probably see, I went and got my hair cut off, about 8 inches, maybe a little bit more in spots, but I was only gone for a couple hours. But she just hates it when we aren't all three here and gets super upset. Like, she's more okay when it's just her alone. Who knows what she does. But yeah, if one of us is gone, she gets a little agitated. So yesterday when I came home, I sat down and I had my legs kind of tucked underneath me, and she got on top of my foot and wouldn't let me move. So she was being all clingy and stuff yesterday. It was funny. So anyway, I was going to record outside today because the last few days here in Indiana, it's been kind of cool for summer, but today the hot heat and humidity resumed. And I was also worried that you guys might be driven a little bit nuts by the sound of the cicadas. So you even might hear them, even though I'm recording inside. They're super, super loud this year in my area. So, and you just never know when they're all going to fire up at one time. So I don't know if those are, well, of course they're not in all parts of the world, but I'm not sure how prevalent they are in the area you live in. So yeah, every, 7 years or 12 years or something like that. But I don't know, we hear them pretty much every summer, but some summers like this one are really, really loud. So, all right, let's get into some yarn stuff because that's why you're here, right? Okay, Kiki. Do you want to sit down? So first up, I was going to show the items that I knitted during the Olympic Games for the Knitting for Good charity drive in the Brownie Knits group. So one of my main goals in knitting during the games this time was to make a blanket for a local, well, not local to me, but local to a friend, charity, children's hospital, and they have a group of knitters that knit hats for them, but when I contacted them, they wanted some blankets, and I said I can do that. And I got to thinking, and I thought, it's so easy to find a pattern for girls, and I think as knitters, a lot of us are women and we choose to gravitate toward kind of girly colors. So I wanted to start off with making a blanket for a boy, and then and do that during the Olympic Games, and then I'm going to make another one for a girl before I send them down together. But I used this has not been blocked and it desperately needs it. I used my Choo Train blanket pattern. So this is a pattern that I designed, and you can get it on Ravelry, BrownieKnits.com, my Brownie Knits Etsy shop, and this one's actually available on knitpicks.com as well. And you can, if you buy it there, you can get they're so good about grouping things with how much yarn you need and that kind of stuff. So I knitted this one out of Spud and Chloe sweater that I had in my stash, and it's a really pretty good size. It's great for little kids. It'll totally cover them up. And then I've even had people make them for you know, their husbands really love trains and they just want like a little lapgan kind of thing. So I ended up using 6 balls of Spud and Chloe sweater that I had in my stash. And you know, I originally bought it to make myself a sweater, and it was supposed to be a sweater that was short sleeved, like very short sleeved, like cap sleeves. And I think I just would have sweltered. I keep looking at this and thinking, okay, it was even 2 more skeins than what were here. No way. But anyway, I think I overbought in that instance, but it was unused and brand new. And I mean, it, you know, it was in stash as the beginning of this year. So it qualifies for 2016 stash down, but I had never used it in something before. So it's all in great shape. And I did it, the pattern uses a US 9 needle and worsted weight yarn, about 900 yards of worsted weight. And yeah, so I knitted that up during the games, and it is charted. Like I tell you in written instructions how to do the different panels, like in what order, but the actual train motifs themselves are charted. So, but it's a flat chart. So, you know, you read the odd rows from right to left and the even rows from left to right. So you just basic lace skills, really. I think it's much, if you can knit a lace shawl, you can definitely knit this. So that was my big item for charity during the games. And then I wanted to knit some hats. And one of my dear friends and teachers, she was a teacher of mine in high school, actually, starting in junior high. And she is the director of a local school here that's really kind of a very different type of school. It just is a very cool atmosphere. And they do a fundraiser for their school in the spring, I believe it is. And so I'm going to donate a couple hats to them. So I knitted up this hat, and then I'm going to knit another hat for them, like a boy hat for them. So this first one is a new design that I'll have coming out in September or October. So it's just now in like the editing process. But I used a skein of Turtlepurl, their worsted Trenchcoat. And then it's just got some different textures. So we've got some little bit different textures, if you can see throughout there. You'll see it here in a second in a solid yarn. But just like a little slouchy hat that I thought would go over well at an auction there. And I just love the Burberry inspired trench coat from Turtlepurl. So this is her Turtlepurl Worsted one skein. And then I did another one. This was the prototype, so it's a little bit different. I did this out of Swans Island Pure blends, out of the Oatmeal color. And there you can see the pattern a little bit better. So like I said, that'll be coming out in September or October. It'll be called the Lora Edith pattern, and it has child, and then, well, child, like, let me see. My niece is in kindergarten, so that it would fit, you know, her age through like small grade school ages. And then the medium size would fit small adults, but then teenagers as well. And then the large size for larger noggins, or if you just want it even bigger and slouchier. So in getting my haircut, it's so silly, but I'm like, I gotta be able to wear my hats. And we got a little bit shorter back here, honestly, than I intended to. I wanted that to be a little bit longer so it could kind of come forward and peek out of the hats. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna look putting this hat on. It might look totally silly. But there you go. You can kind of see it on. So there you have it. So that will actually go to a different charity. So we've got, yeah, so there we go for that one. And then this one, I really didn't keep track of what I was doing. I know it was with Universal. Both of those, by the way, were from Stash too. as was this one. The yarn is Universal. Let me look it up. Oh, Bella DK Tapestry. I think it's a discontinued yarn. It's an acrylic yarn. But I just did a child size. I think I did it on 4s down here and 5s up here. I don't know. I just kind of did like a little, I think I might add a pom-pom to the top actually. And so that'll go to a different charity. So those are the projects that I ended up doing. And I wish that I could have gotten done more. I had anticipated getting done more, but I'd forgotten, you know, I was making a blanket. And then I had some people visiting, and then I didn't feel well, and I ended up at the doctor 3 times in a week, so I'm lucky I got the blanket done. But I wanted to give you guys huge props, because as a group, we made, when I last checked, of things that were posted, we made 19 hats, a pair of socks, a dishcloth, a pair of booties, and a blanket. So all total, let's see, that's 23 projects that are going to people who need them. So congratulations to all of you. Huge round of applause for our group. I'm so thankful that you guys participated and joined in. So now it's time to draw for our gold, silver, and bronze packages. And I put the numbers in for random draw and drew until it wasn't me, because I was commenting on people's stuff. So I kept drawing numbers until we got 3 winners. And the first winner, I just thought I would do first winner gets gold, that kind of thing. So let me pull that up. Our gold prize is this lovely skein of yarn donated to the podcast by Susie Parker Yarns. It's merino sock, which is fingering weight, and the color is Carnival. And then I have a few other items that I'm going to toss into the package. And the winner is Low Budget. So congratulations to you. Get in contact with me, give me your mailing address, and I'll get this along with some little items sent out to you. So congratulations, and thank you so much for participating in the group. Our silver package is this skein of yarn from Craftfulness, which is a 75% BFL and a 25% nylon, along with this US 2 40-inch needles. And the winner of that is Jessica from Arkansas. And Jessica's Ravelry name, I don't know if it's pronounceable. I don't know what I would do. We'll spell it SGTGRIFFOGIRL. I can't read if my writing is an O or an A. Anyway, regardless, congratulations, Jessica, and we'll get this sent out to you. Yay! And our third prize, which is the bronze package, goes to Emma Clark. And Emma is a knitter's friend on Instagram, and I think she's Emma Clark in Ravelry. And Emma wins $15 of patterns of her choosing. So Emma, if you let me know what patterns you want, and then I'll load them up and send them to you as a gift. So, yay! Thanks again to everybody for participating. It was a lot of fun seeing everything that all of you did, and just knowing that we were, you know, really setting a goal for ourselves, a challenge for ourselves during the Olympics, and doing something for the world. So I had planned during the Olympics only to knit on things for charity. And then I got hired to do some test knitting, and so I had to get those done on schedule, and I can't show you those yet. But during this past few weeks, something else that I had test crocheted for Knit Picks actually became a released free pattern. And it is the Morning Sunburst kitchen set, which was designed by Beth Major. And Beth is the Crochet Gypsy. And it's a really cute set. It's like a little dishcloth and a towel and a little cup cozy. And like I said, it's crocheted. I believe I used a G hook to crochet it. and it uses Knit Picks Shine Sport. And the ones I made, so if you go to my project page to see the ones I made, they're the actual ones that were pictured in the pattern itself, so up on the Knit Picks site. So they are using platinum, cream, and grapefruit. So it was really cute. So I thought I'd mention that and show some photos here of it. So anyway, I had that to do, and then my aunt and uncle had requested when we stayed with them in Florida a few things for me to make. So 2 of the items are time sensitive and have to go out in the mail very soon because they're for my uncle's upcoming birthday in September. And the mail between here and Florida for some reason is like not reliable. So I wanted to get it done as soon as possible. So I was working on it quite a bit during the Olympics too. So whenever I'd get super tired, I would work on these US men's size 13 foot socks. And he is a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so she wanted them to be in Pittsburgh colors. And so I finally found on the website Eat Sleep Knit, they still had some Claudia's Hand Paint Addiction in the gold and black colorway. And so these haven't been blocked, by the way. So I did 72 stitches. I did 20 rounds of 2x2 rib. I did it cuff down. I did the fish lips kiss heel. I did a rounded toe. I did the cuff, heel and toe in Claudia Hand Paint Addiction in the Madagascar colorway, because I knew, even though I bought 2 skeins of the black and gold, that it wasn't going to be enough for the foot length that I needed. So I definitely needed that black to get me to the finish line. So these are finished up other than being blocked. And so he will have his Steelers socks. Okay, I have something exciting to show you guys. This is a new pattern from A Knitter's Life, Christina Wall of A Knitter's Life. And I had the pleasure of doing a quick test knit on it. It just came out in the latest edition, the fall edition of Knotions magazine, which is an online free magazine. And it's so cute. The name of the pattern is City Streets Shawlette. And the idea is that it uses a main color. And I used Ancient Art Yarns, one of their fingering weights. It didn't have a color name. It's kind of like denim-y blue. And then you can use up to 6 different mini skeins, or you can use 3, which is what I did. So I used 3 and then repeated them. And I cheated a little bit because I know Spun Right Round did a kit for it, but it wasn't available when I was doing the test knit. So you can definitely run over there to get a kit for it. But I didn't have that option at the time, so I went to my sock shelf and I stole some yards from some of my speckled sock yarns. The top one is Post yarn from Simply Socks in the Tinseltown colorway. The second one is actually some yarn that Christina dyed for me that I made socks out of, so I thought that was appropriate to use in her shawl. And then the third one is some hedgehog fiber sock in the color Holly Jolly. So I still have enough to make socks out of these 2, and then I already have socks out of the middle one. So it turned out really cute, and I'm gonna toss it on here so that you can see it worn on. So there you have it. I think it's really cute. Perfect for just like throwing on if you're going out and it's a little bit cool outside and you can just toss it on, or if you're, you know, in a summer warmer climate and you're going in and out of air conditioning, you can have it tied around your bag and then throw it on. So it was a fun knit. I love knitting so much garter, and yeah, it was just an enjoyable knit. So congratulations to Christina and to Notions for having that come out. So yay. All right, then I've been working on I have a lot on my needles, but over the next few days this is going to be the main thing I'm working on, because I mentioned that I was trying to get a group of stuff together for my aunt and uncle, and when we were down there she saw a knitted lace weight version of the Pebble Beach shawl, and requested one, and she sent me this, gave me this yarn to knit for her. It's Anzula Breeze in the color mauve, and I'm really down here. So I'm knitting the very, very, very largest one. So right now there's like 411 stitches on the needle, and I think I go all the way up to 491. So this is, again, the Pebble Beach Shawl by Helen Stewart. Is a paid for pattern, but it's very simple. It's just got a lot of stitches. I think if I had done the fingering weight, I would have been done like, I don't know, somewhere up in here. So it's just taking a while, but this is what I'm going to be concentrating on the rest of this week and weekend to try and get this completed, and the yarn is fabulous for it. So yeah, I don't know that I'll get to show this again on the podcast finished, but I will definitely take a photo so that I can show that on a future podcast episode. And I'm using US 5 needles. So yay, fun, fun. And then I had a photo of this up on my Instagram. This bag was holding that project, and I had some people ask about it, so I thought I'd mention it. Here, we'll put it this way so you can see the Nomi's right side up. So this is a bag by Birdleg Bags. Her bags are wonderful, and this is just like one of her little sock ones, but it does have little Nomis on it, and I know a lot of people like Nomis, and people were asking about it. So I think she has, I'm not sure if it's, I think it's birdlegbags.com now. I'm not sure if she might still be on Etsy, but she might have her own standalone website now. I'll put it in the show notes. And then, but you definitely can go to, last time I checked, you could get this exact bag from Simply Socks Yarn Company online too. Fair word of warning, I told that to somebody who was looking for this bag, and they ended up having a really good time shopping for other things on that site, which you absolutely can get lost for hours doing. So have fun. Okay. Where do I want to go next? Like I said, it's been a while, so I just have so much that I want to tell and share with you guys. Let's talk about 2016 Stash Down, or Stash Down 2016, however you want to do it. So that's a year-long knit-along and crochet-along that we've been doing in the Brownie Knits group, and you can go up to the group in Ravelry and join in the thread. We're just knitting yarn from our stash, and then putting up pictures and stuff as we go, and then finished items. You guys have been killing it. Like, it's so incredible to see all of our stash yarn that's getting used up, and they're just great projects too. So kudos to all of you for doing that. I too have been working on my stash yarns. So as you can see, like, a lot of my yarn from the charity knit along stuff was from stash yarn. And then I'm actually designing 2, maybe 3 hats. I can't decide if the third one wants to be a hat or a cowl, quite frankly. And then a blanket. So I'll be using up a lot of my stashed yarn for that in the next coming like few months. So, but then I had another like, okay, let's go through one more time and see what other yarns you have in your stash that, even though they're lovely as can be, are probably not going to be knitted by you. So I did that, and I've really done that so many times that I was down to things where I was like, oh, they just have to go to somebody that's really going to appreciate them. Like, my biggest fear is that they end up in like a bin in the corner of some thrift shop when, you know, gathering dust and nobody knows what they could be getting. So I decided this time to put them up for really, really, really good deals in the will sell or trade section of the stash page in Ravelry. So I've added stuff there to my page. Some of it has already sold, but some of it has not. So I thought I'd go ahead and mention it here. Everything is at least half of what it currently retails for. So at least half off, I mean. So like I said, they're really great deals for some really wonderful yarns. Everything is from a smoke-free home, and I keep Kennedy away from the yarns. I'm also allergic to dogs, so that's why I have a Yorkie, because she doesn't bother my allergies, so if that helps at all. But I thought I'd show, this is just one of the things that's up there. So this is a Briar Rose yarn, 4th of July, 100% merino wool, 550 yards, and there are 2 of them, and I bought them at the same time, so you'd still want to alternate them as you knitted with them, but yeah, she did them in the same pot, so they should match pretty well. So anyway, those are the types of things that you can find up there. So if you're interested, let me know and we can work out a deal. But we also have another giveaway, right? So in the 2016 Stash Down, every 2 months I do a giveaway package. So I get to announce today, I'm just looking for it, here we go. The winner of this lovely alpaca yarn package. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, yay, yay, yay. Let me pull it up because we had so many winners to announce this time that I can't keep them all straight in my head. And I have 3 pages of notes. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of practice for my podcasting here. So, our Stash Down winner for August is Anna, and Anna's from the Netherlands, and her Ravelry name is Niffelster, and she made a lovely pair of socks from Stash for her father, and they were really, really nice. So here you go, Anna, and if you give me your mailing address, I'll get these shipped over to you. Yay, yay, yay. And that is something that I do in my group. You do not have to be in the United States to win. So, because I want to make friends everywhere. So you can be wherever. Okay, and then so every 2 months, like I said, I give away a little something from people who are participating in this Stash Down thread. And this coming time, which would be in October, so I thought this was appropriate for October, is this skein of Knit Pick Stroll Fingering, and the colorway is Coffee Shop, so I thought that would be appropriate for fall. And I don't know if you've ever used their stroll for socks, but I don't like it as much as Felici, let's be honest, but I really do like their stroll one. So it's not showing up as beautiful on screen. There we go. So pretty. So all you have to do is just, put up posts of what you're working on from Stash. You can double, triple dip, whatever. I don't care if you're doing it for another knit along and you want to put it there, as long as it's from Stash from that you had it before January 1st of 2016. There you go. You could win. The other giveaway that we have coming up, so I always do a book and yarn giveaway. And this next book and yarn giveaway, so the giveaway winner will be announced in September, and it will be announced in September because this is a very special book and yarn giveaway. This book is written by my hubby. So it's called The Clearing, and it's by Patrick Knaus. And you can get, the print copy is already available on Amazon. And then the digital version will come out on September 20th. So I'm going around the 20th, around the middle of September, we'll pull for the winner. But in the meantime, if you're interested in purchasing it, you can, but you can also register on the thread that I'll put up in the Brownie Knits group. And to register, I just want you to send me a question that you would like to ask a writer. And then I'm going to have just this podcast episode where I take some minutes from it, and Patrick's going to come on the episode and answer some questions. So this book specifically is a mystery novel. He does do some poetry, and he writes some science fiction, and he also writes some technology books. But this one's mystery, and it's set in the 1970s, and it was really a joy to read. So I'll put a link to it in the show notes as well. But so go up to that thread, let me know a question that you have for him about, how he writes, what he likes to write, or, anything. One thing I always ask him is, how'd you come up with the name for that character? And that kind of thing like that. So anything that you are interested in. And then I'll do like an interview with him in one of our upcoming podcast episodes. And the yarn that goes along with this one, I wanted to choose something special because it is somebody special to me who wrote the book. And it goes with the cover pretty well. So this is a skein of Anzula's Cricket in the color Red Choo. It's a sport weight, 250 yards. It is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and it's hard to know that it's just 10% because it feels so nice, and then 10% nylon. So that's what you can win in the next book and yarn giveaway. So, all right, next up, I wanted to show you some lovely things that I couldn't stop myself from buying. The whole idea of doing this stash down was that I had so much yarn that I wanted to, just get it way more manageable so that I didn't feel guilty about it or overwhelmed by it. And honestly, it is probably, it's way down from what it was. It really is. But the other reason that I wanted to do it was that way I wouldn't feel so guilty about buying new stuff. So I just couldn't help myself, and I ended up buying a few lovelies. Doesn't that always happen when you don't feel well? Like I'm much more likely to just be like, click, add to cart. So this first one actually is for Patrick though. This is from Must Stash Yarns, and she had this Star Wars edition. So she had a Yoda one, and then she had this one, which is called Jedi Mind Trick. I keep wanting to say Mind the Jedi Mind Trick. So this is a limited edition, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 440 yards. I'm so glad that it's the extra 40 yards. So that way I can make him socks without having to do different heels and toes necessarily. But I showed him this one and the Yoda one. Both Carol and I thought that he would want the Yoda one, and he didn't. He wanted this one. I'm hoping that I have a little bit of it left so that I can put it in my crocheted Afghan granny square blanket because it's such a lovely color. So yeah, gorgeous. So that was one little lovely skein that I added. She has these lovely sock blanks where she does stencils on them. I've been eyeing them for ages, and finally I was like, saw one that I just thought was gorgeous. I'm a summer girl. I love spring and summer. And I really love like the decorations of fall and getting cozy for fall. Fall doesn't love me. I have pretty bad allergies in the fall, but fall to me, for years and years of my life, I dreaded a little bit because I hate winter so much. But I'm trying to let that go and just like embrace it. So I'm actually a little bit ready for fall this year, which is not normal for me. And when I saw this, I just thought, oh, fall. Isn't it gorgeous? And she named this one New Leaf. And this is the single sock blank. So she does do doubles where you can like kind of get your socks to match a little bit more, but I just went with a single, so they won't necessarily match, but they'll be, sister mates or whatever, brother mates, so that's fine. I don't know when I'll knit it though, because I just kind of want to like hang it somewhere and use it as a wall hanging because it's so gorgeous. Isn't it beautiful? And in the photos, it's really hard in photos to get that stellina to show up. You can see it a little bit there. See in the brown when I move it? That stellina is throughout. Ah, it's so gorgeous. Oh, I wish she had two so I could knit one up and then save the other one to just look at. It's like, honestly, it's beautiful enough that you could frame it. It's so gorgeous. So I couldn't resist and I gave in to temptation. And just when I was feeling bad about giving in to temptation for those two things, along came an announcement from Lollipop Yarns that she was going to have an update. And she's been on my list for a long time too. Ah, shoot, the tag fell off. Anyway, and one of the colors that she had was Brown Eyed Girl, and I just couldn't resist. So it has these long brown stripes for row sections, and then it has this you know, kind of variegated painted kind of look for a section, and then it came with the heels and toe yarn. And Patrick, when I call him on the phone, his the ringtone for me is Brown Eyed Girl, and we had that played at our wedding and danced together, so it's just kind of, you know, our little thing. So I couldn't pass that one up, right? I had to justify my yarn. So anyway, I wish you guys could feel it. We need touch of vision because it is super, super, super soft, which if you watch the podcast very long, you know, like I'm super picky about my yarn being scratchy. So this one is so soft. So again, that's Lollipop yarn, and she does, she sells through Etsy, and she'll have on her Etsy store information when her next like posting is going to be, and then you can kind of stalk it and kind of get it. So, and check back, because like I bought what I thought was the last one of these, and then Carol went on a little bit later and she had replenished it and had another one, and Carol got some of the same one. So we are a hugely bad influence on each other, because we send things to each other all the time. Hey, did you see this? Are you gonna buy this? You should buy it. Get it, get it, get it. So but that's what good friends are for, right? So anyway, there were some lovelies that I bought. So when I went through and was pulling out yarn and saying, this is what I'm going to make with that, and this is yarn I should get rid of, and different things like that, I counted up how many skeins of things I have to make socks, specifically socks for Patrick and myself. 18. Like, I just can't even believe that. So I think I might make a goal for myself next year to do like 2 pairs of socks a month or something. I don't know. We'll see. We've got a ways to go. Okay, and then I'm going to just show you some other lovelies. So I participated in a podcaster swap that was hosted by the Spicy Homemaker, and she paired up podcasters with other podcasters, and we did a Christmas in July swap. And I was paired up with Amanda from the Dye Another Day podcast. And Amanda is also known as the Yarn Enabler, because she dyes her own yarn, so you can find her stuff and purchase it. And she sent me, she's the yarnenabler.etsy.com if you want to see her lovely skeins of yarn. So isn't this gorgeous? So one of the things that we were supposed to do, it was supposed to be like a Christmas in July type swap, and we were supposed to send them something that we made that was handmade by us. And so she sent me this skein of yarn from her. It's 420 yards, 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. Hand wash cold, lay flat to dry. And it's just in these lovely pinks and blues. Gorgeous. And then the other big requirement for the swap was to send 3, I think it was, minis. Well, she spoiled the heck out of me. She sent me all of these. So I'm so excited to put them into my scrap can that I need to get back working on. And I have these, and then Carol brought me some minis. So I just have minis floating everywhere, and I plan to, after I get that Pebble Beach shawl done, I plan to like jump back onto this project and get all these minis knitted, crocheted up, because I can't wait to see how they all look. And of course, you guys know me, like this one, I keep going, ooh, I love. Totally says Christmas, right? It also says, IU, go Hoosiers. Which, by the way, go Hoosiers. I was so excited to see so many current IU members do so well in the Olympics. So yay! But that's totally off topic. And then there were some other cute little things in the package from Amanda. So thank you so much. I loved getting that from you. It meant so much. I've been enjoying the teas and all that kind of goody, yummy stuff. I forgot to take a picture of what I sent Amanda before I popped it in the mail, because honestly, I got back from Florida and then had to mail it the next day. But I actually made crocheted snowflakes for her and then starched those. So that was the first time I'd ever done that. And I just absolutely love having those on my tree that my mother-in-law made for me. So that's why I did those. So if you guys have never done them, it took probably about 3 hours to snowflake to do it, because it's just kind of really tiny detail, but they were the bigger ones. So you can find like those snowflake booklets and stuff at, you know, yarn shops or your library. You can probably find some online for free. So I was watching a couple podcasts yesterday and people were talking about making things for Christmas, and I was like, yeah, it's really not too early. And I am actually going to design and make something for somebody for Christmas, and I don't know if I can get it done in time, but I'm really going to try. So, but anyway, I was so overwhelmed by all of the lovely mini skeins from Amanda that is more than enough for me. So this lovely skein will at some point in the future be a giveaway for the podcast. So stay tuned. You could get to give Amanda's yarn a try. Yay, yay, yay. Something for everybody. It's time for Knitspiration. And I have two things for Knitspiration this time around. And the first one is, I was scrolling through Instagram and I happened to see Tweaks, and I think, what are you, Tweaks? You're Tweaks 9394. I saw Tweaks' photo of some socks in progress, and I believe it was out of Knit Picks Felici, but I absolutely loved her patterning that she was using. So I'm going to throw up a photo here, and maybe we can ask Tweaks and Ravelry in the show notes if she can share some information about what the colorway is and the pattern. I just thought it was so cute, and you know, I have those 18 pairs of socks to make, so I might use that pattern for one of those. And then the other thing I saw was this pattern. It's Softly, it's a sock pattern, or not, sorry, it's a sweater pattern, Softly by Hannah. I moved my lights this time, trying not to let them, there we go, by Hannah, and then I'm not pronouncing her last name. You can see it right there. I always mess it up, so I don't want to do that. It is a paid for pattern in Ravelry, but it is gorgeous. So let's just take a scroll through this photos that she has there. It uses Pheno yarn, and that's a fingering weight yarn. Isn't it gorgeous? I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. It comes in sizes extra small through 3X. And I think it would actually probably look good on all body types the way that it's structured. Because I'm definitely not an extra small, so I have to think about those things. And it's from Monos, and it's their Pheno yarn, which is a merino and a silk. Ooh, wouldn't that feel lovely? And it's 70% merino, 30% silk, which is good, because if you get too much silk, then it just, I made a sweater one time, and it was, the yarn was 100% silk, and that thing, I could have fit my whole family in it by the time it like finished stretching out for years. But anyway, yes, this one would be quite lovely. So I thought I'd share that with you guys as well. So I think that's it. I think that's everything. So I think that I will probably be back in a couple weeks, and don't forget to go up to the board and get yourself registered for all the new giveaways. Let me know what you're working on. I love to see what everybody is doing and knitting and crocheting. And I have to admit, I went into a cross stitch store and picked up a new cross stitch project. But my deal is I have to finish at least one of the two that I have in my cross stitch bag before I can start this one. So yeah, it's just, you can kind of feel that fall and winter creeping on, and you know, getting more cozied in and doing more and more projects, right? So I hope that you all are doing well. Thanks so very much for checking in on the podcast and giving me a watch. So, all right. Love to everybody. I will talk to you all later. Happy knitting and crocheting. Bye-bye.